The doorbell rang at 2:15 on a cold Tuesday, and I almost ignored it. Getting up meant leaving the one warm dent I'd made in the couch under 2 blankets and 3 sweaters. But it rang again, that familiar double press. My daughter Sarah always rang twice. I shuffled to the door, blankets around my shoulders. When I opened it, she froze. Her eyes swept over me, the sagging sweaters hanging loose, the jeans cinched with a belt, the hollows in my cheeks. She stepped inside, the air in the house colder than outside. The thermostat read 58 degrees. She stared at it, then at me. "Why is it freezing in here?" she asked. "You could get pneumonia." I started to lie about liking it cool, about saving money, but she had already walked into the kitchen. The refrigerator door opened. Silence. Then she came back, holding a nearly empty, expired milk carton and 3 ketchup packets. "Mom, where's your food?" "I have crackers," I whispered, "and some rice." She didn't answer. She just pulled out her phone and called my son, Michael. She put him on speaker and told him exactly what she was seeing. He sighed and said, "Victoria handles Mom's finances now. It's easier that way." Sarah's voice turned sharp. "Mom was a bookkeeper for 30 years. Try again." Heels clicked on the hardwood. My daughter-in-law, Victoria, appeared in the doorway, all fake sweetness and confidence. When Sarah demanded to know why I was starving when my $8,000 monthly pension should keep me comfortable, Victoria smiled. "Someone has to manage that money responsibly," she said. "Your mother would waste it. I consider it fair payment for allowing her to keep living in this house. Do you know how much caregiving costs? Allowing me to live in my own home, the house my husband and I bought 40 years ago." Sarah's face went blank the way it used to right before she defended her little brother as a kid. "Mom, get your purse and coat." Victoria stepped in front of me, protesting that we had an arrangement. Michael appeared and gently suggested I stay, agreeing that the money needed proper management. Sarah took my arm anyway. "Is starving her proper management?" she asked. Victoria laughed and claimed she had legal authority. Sarah just said, "We'll see about that," and led me out. She drove in silence to the hospital. I tried to insist I was just tired, but she asked, "When was the last time you had a real meal?" I couldn't remember. At the ER, the doctors weighed me. 104 pounds. I had once been 136. Blood work showed severe malnutrition, dangerously low vitamins, my body feeding on itself. A social worker named Patricia listened as I finally broke down and told everything. The empty fridge, the cold rooms, Victoria controlling my pension while I stretched a bag of rice for weeks. Sarah photographed everything: lab results, notes, nutrition assessments. Patricia called it what it was: elder abuse, a crime. Afterward, Sarah took me to a bank and opened a new account in my name only. "We'll redirect part of your pension here, quietly," she said. "This is your money, Mom." That night, in her warm kitchen over a bowl of soup, Sarah opened my home computer's search history. The searches weren't mine. Life expectancy calculator, elderly woman. How long before inheritance distribution? Symptoms of nutritional deficiency, elderly. The dates went back 2 years. "Mom," Sarah said softly, "she's been planning this. We're going to fix it, but you have to follow my lead." The next day, we met an elder law attorney, Mr. Caldwell. Before anything else, he ordered cognitive testing so Victoria couldn't claim I was confused. 3 hours of memory and logic exercises later, he told me my results were excellent. Then he spread my bank statements over the table. "She's been siphoning your money for 2 years," he said. "Roughly $200,000. He brought in a forensic accountant, Jennifer, who traced every dollar. Designer handbags, luxury dinners, an $8,000 Hawaii vacation, all funded by my pension while I went hungry. With Mr. Caldwell's help, we put my house, investments, and life insurance into an irrevocable trust with Sarah as sole trustee. We rewrote my will. Michael would receive $1. The rest would go to Sarah and charities protecting seniors. It broke my heart, but I remembered him standing by in my freezing house, saying nothing. Meanwhile, Sarah gathered witnesses: the mailman who'd seen me digging recycling bins for bottles, the pharmacist who knew I'd stopped filling prescriptions because I couldn't afford them, the neighbor who'd seen the lights off and me shrinking while Victoria drove a new car. I moved in with Sarah. As I slowly gained weight, she sent Michael a brief text. I'd be living with her now, and they were no longer needed as caregivers. Victoria's frantic messages started when the pension didn't hit their account. Sarah ignored them. Soon they showed up at Sarah's door. Victoria demanded to know where I was and where the money was. Sarah explained. The pension now went to my private account. Victoria raged about her power of attorney. Sarah calmly pointed out she never had one. She'd simply taken my card and bullied her way into control. When Victoria insisted she deserved compensation for caregiving, Sarah showed her photos and documents of my malnutrition. She listed the $200,000 in stolen funds, purses, vacations, dinners. She mentioned the forensic accountant and the hospital records. Then she played her trump card. Victoria's morbid search history about my life expectancy and inheritance timelines. Sarah had recorded the entire confrontation. If you come back or contact Mom, Sarah said, we'll seek a restraining order. If you try legal action, we'll go to the police and district attorney with everything. Soon Mr. Caldwell's certified letters hit. Notice of the trust, the updated will, demands for restitution, and Jennifer's detailed accounting of every stolen dollar. Another letter informed Victoria that civil action would seek $500,000 in damages. Michael called me in shock after Victoria admitted she'd married him for money. He cried and begged forgiveness, but I reminded him of every time he'd seen the truth and looked away. Then Caldwell uncovered a life insurance policy taken out on me 3 years earlier for $500,000 with a forged signature and Victoria as beneficiary. Combined with her online searches and the neglect, it suggested she'd been willing to wait me out, or worse. Sarah and I decided to go public. A local reporter, Monica, aired our story as an example of elder financial abuse. Attorneys and social workers weighed in. People recognized Victoria. Within days, she lost her job. Her friends distanced themselves. The civil and criminal cases moved forward. In court, the prosecutor laid out everything. The bank records, my medical reports, the life insurance fraud, the spreadsheet where Victoria had calculated how much she'd inherit, depending on the age I died, highlighting age 70. I was 68 when she made it. The judge sentenced her to 4 years in prison and $500,000 in restitution that couldn't be erased by bankruptcy. Victoria sobbed. I felt only relief and exhaustion. Months later, I stood at a gala for an elder abuse foundation, telling a room full of people about the frozen house, the empty fridge, the 3 sweaters, and the $8,000 pension that should have kept me safe. I told them I survived because my daughter refused to look away and begged them to be that person for someone else. The video went viral. Seniors and their families reached out, saying my story gave them courage. I now live comfortably with Sarah. The trust, wisely invested, is worth millions. Half will go to her, half to organizations protecting vulnerable seniors. Michael will receive his $1. Victoria, released early for good behavior, works a low-wage job and will be repaying her debt for the rest of her life. I'm 72 now, healthy, volunteering at a senior center and helping others recognize abuse before it's too late. My greatest revenge isn't Victoria's punishment. It's that I survived, healed, and turned what she did into a warning and a lifeline for others.